Thank you so much for coming and enjoying this great occasion with us. Thank you. And Bill's going to do the toast because I'm not good at that.
Thanks, honey. Well, I should say, first of all, that I've got some hard acts to follow because Frank was amazing. I couldn't believe what a wonderful job he did. That's right, as an officiant. And then to hear my beautiful daughter and her handsome husband go through their vows was one of the most moving times of my whole life. It was just gorgeous, and I thank you guys so much for not only what you said, but the way you really feel about each other and what your life has in store for you. So, thank you. So, that aside, welcome everyone. In case you don't know me, I am the man who has been blessed with the great privilege to be Kelsey's father and Patty's husband. I first want to express our sincere appreciation to each one of you for sharing this joyous occasion with us and helping us to make it so memorable for our family and our friends. Since you are here, you probably have known Kelsey for some time and understand how Patty and I have eagerly awaited and prayed for this time when our beloved daughter would be joined with the man she loves in marriage and begin their next chapter of their exciting lives together. It feels like yesterday when my little girl held my hand and took her first steps. She grew up very quickly in spirit, in confidence, intelligence, and compassion, well ahead of her years at all times. She was and is still full of endearing and unique qualities that will forever demonstrate how special she is. As a 4-year-old, she loved to help Dad with his landscaping in the backyard and would eagerly and fearlessly capture crawling critters, which earned her the nickname Bugsy with me forever. On visits to Hawaii, she quickly became a strong swimmer and loved to go ocean snorkeling to feed the fishes with Dad when she was only 5. She would blossom amazingly in academics, sports, athletics, and the love of outdoor activities to this day. That's why the beginning of her email address has always been Sporty Mossy. Kelsey, however, has not always been a perfect girl. She would coerce her babysitters into multiple parental violations, such as building the forbidden huge tents in her bedroom when we were out for dinner at night, climbing fences to break into our community pool after hours with her young friends and getting caught on video camera, and abruptly ending her piano lessons because her teacher, who was a former Russian prison director, did not understand what a headstrong and intelligent student she really was. And also sometimes refusing to go along with Mom when the dress code became too girly for Kelsey. Through it all, Patty and I would not change one bit of this so-called bad behavior. Speaking of Patty, I will not ever be able to express my appreciation enough for the magnificent success she made possible by her limitless devotion to raising our beautiful daughter. I am and have been in constant awe of how Patty's attention, sacrifice, and boundless love have helped us to form the accomplished young woman that is Kelsey here today. I suspect that every father present here knows in their heart who did most of the important and difficult things required to properly raise their children. For those reasons and many others, my heart is full of gratitude to Patty for the love she has consistently poured into Kelsey and our family over the years. Now it's on to the young man who is fulfilling my dreams to have a son in my life. There he goes. I truly mean that, because that's exactly what I told Derek when he made the surprise trip from Hermosa Beach to ask for Kelsey's hand in marriage. We loved that he was so traditional, thoughtful, and already picked out a ring for her. What that meant to Patty and I was that he already knew her very intimately and was sure she would love his choice in rings. We have watched them together over the last few years and have been amazingly impressed by the way Derek is so kind, patient, and loving with Kelsey. Sometimes not the easiest thing in the world to be. He is very hardworking, intelligent, ethical, and a caring young man with a great sense of humor who truly values the strong bonds that came from his enduring friendships. Derek, however, has not always been the perfect young man either. He is way too tall, handsome, physically fit, all faults that were not lost on Kelsey from the very beginning. Also, beware of sharing a family meal with him unless you want to be prepared to defend your meager portion to the death. Because Derek has already eaten his share and is hunting for more. What an appetite. We do share a newfound love for his Purdue basketball team, and I am forever grateful to him for hooking me so strongly at this late stage in my life. I enjoy those games, even when they do lose. I am also very appreciative of how beautiful the wedding ceremony has turned out. I had virtually nothing to do with all the planning and in-depth details involved in making this such a huge success. But I have observed from the sidelines all of the thoughtfulness, effort, and attention that Kelsey, Derek, and Patty have put into every aspect of our celebration together. Thank you also to all the Condor's Nest staff and the organization and the vendors for making this possible and helping us all through so many complex details. Thanks also to everyone in the wedding party for your devotion to Kelsey and Derek through this whole process and your creative ideas on how to make the ceremony even more joyful for all of us. Patty and I do not know some of you yet, but look forward to remedying that as the evening goes on and would love to hear about the fun stories and a little dirt that you have on Kelsey and Derek. Finally, I just want to thank you all again for being here with us for this most joyous event and helping Patty and I send Kelsey and Derek off on the new lifelong adventures, which you know will be full of wonder, surprises, and some setbacks, and continuing the growth as their love for each other blossoms over the years. So please join me in the first toast to my forever young and beloved Kelsey and her handsome groom and my new son, Derek. Here's to the new Mr. and Mrs. Derek Johnson.
A wedding can happen anywhere and at any time, but it can only be a true celebration when all the people you love are there to share it with you. You have all made our day that much more special. I would like to thank my new husband for asking me to marry him and going through with it today. I appreciate him for allowing me to incessantly talk about wedding details for months. Thank you to my parents for all the help and support throughout my life and getting me to where I am today. I appreciate all the time and effort they have put into this wedding to make it a memorable day. They help take a lot of the workload off that comes with planning a wedding, providing financial assistance, and my mom has such an eye for detail that I wouldn't be able to forget anything, thanks to them. Thank you to all my bridesmaids for all the work that I put you through today and for helping everything pull together beautifully. And thank you to my incredibly talented friend, Talia, for the beautiful cakes that you all have not seen yet, but you're gonna have to get some nice little taste of those. Not only do they look professional, they taste better than any cake I've ever had from a baker.
Yeah, I'll make it quick. I know you guys all want to eat here. Just want to say, you know, my journey started 12 years ago when I decided to leave Indiana for Los Angeles, and it turned out to be the best decision ever. I mean, not only is it great weather, but I also got to meet so many good friends along the way, and I'm so happy to see friends that did come from Indiana, and my Santa Monica friends and the Hermosa Beach friends. So everybody's been just incredible, and I have Jeff Porper here, who hired me on at DirecTV, so he gave me really my first shot, and Nick McKay, who let me just crash on his couch there in Santa Monica. So I think without that duo, I don't even know if this would be possible. So I do want to send a special thank you to both of you, and I want to thank all of the catering staff and everybody here that's contributed. Jake, you've been great. Trenton. The list goes on, and so thank you so much. Yeah, that's pretty much about all I have to say, but yeah, Dave and Mel, obviously, for this venue, and Jen, our wedding coordinator, who's been absolutely fabulous, so thank you, Jen, and Heather. All right, thank you all, and enjoy. Let's get on that dance floor. Woohoo!
Thank you, kind sir. I can't believe you cut off Backstreet Boys so I could come up here and speak. I would never do that. All right, so good evening, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, yes, I am Derek's older brother, so which I'm sure you guys couldn't tell that, and one of his best men. So, first of all, I want to thank Derek and Kelsey for graciously hosting us this evening, and to Patty and Bill. Read all that? Okay, right on. For joining us on this special day. So we appreciate that. Our parents would have loved to have been here, of course, and we know they're with us in spirit. So Derek's been my best friend for nearly 40 years. He is a man of firsts. So he's the first to move out of state in our family. He was the first to get his master's degree, and now the first to get married. Although he's our younger brother, he doesn't wait around for his older brothers to pave the way for him. But what is it you all don't know about Derek? So when Derek was a baby, our mom had him in the bathtub, but she had to run an errand and left our dad in charge. Our dad was an engineer who was always constantly thinking, which might not be the best quality when your attention needs to be seriously focused elsewhere. As the bathtub continued to fill, Dad remained watching TV in the other room, unaware what was happening with Derek in the tub. Something in my two-year-old brain told me that I needed to check on my baby brother. When I got to the bathtub, I saw Derek's head bobbing in and out of the water. Basically, it was covering his face. I quickly grabbed him to keep his head above water and screamed for our dad. So my point to this potentially tragic story is there's a lot of events that had to transpire for all of us, collectively to be here on this joyous day. So, growing up, Derek was a quiet and shy kid. I know that's hard to believe, as the man talks more than a teenage girl hopped up on Pixie Sticks and Red Bull. So shy, in fact, that in elementary school, our mom asked me to set up a play date with him with one of my friend's brothers. I know, hard to believe, right? So until our beautiful sister Kara was born, Dr. Kara, let's correct that, in 1992, so Derek and I were living this life of luxury, each having our own separate bedrooms. So Mom finally got this little girl that she always wanted. We reluctantly were forced to share a room, and we even had bunk beds. Little did we know this would bring us much closer, And basically during that time, we would make each other laugh. We would watch Baywatch reruns late at night, much to the chagrin of our mother. This bond from our youth continues to this day. So just a few years later, Derek would miraculously pass me up in height, and I would later be known as the short, fat one in our family. And then he would later be known as Stilts for being so tall and lanky because he just grew up and didn't grow out. So maybe the universe is trying to even things out, as he has much more gray hair than me and our older brother Ryan combined, albeit a nice head of hair. Thank you, Mom and Dad. You may also be wondering where Derek's competitive nature comes from. Well, Ryan, our older brother, and I used to beat him at as many games and sports as possible and would rub it in while doing so. Until one day, he was our big little brother. He now gets the last laugh at most sporting activities. So Derek didn't get much attention from girls until college. But even then, we never really thought any of them were a good fit for him. When he moved out to Cali, he thought his luck might change. After messing about with those soulless dating apps, Derek came to realize what his strengths were: his height, his nice head of hair, piercing blue eyes, and the ability to start a conversation with literally anyone. So those are things that don't necessarily come through on a Bumble profile. Yep. That's when he got the courage to go up to Kelsey in what I've now learned is one of their least favorite bars, Barnacles. He texted me the next day and said he'd met this stunning blonde and that he saw a lot of potential for things to come. Derek would not bother texting me something like this unless he really meant it. So it looks like the Beach Boys song, California Girls, finally rang true for him. As we've gotten to know Kelsey, we now know why he asked her to marry him. She's gotten him to be a dog lover, and we're hopeful that he can get her to love 80s music. Kelsey, we love your positivity, your spirit, and your ability to find a great deal. As you know, the Johnsons love a great deal. So in closing, if Derek decides on a Friday night to grab a bottle of wine, light a few candles, and draw himself a bath, I know that Kelsey will be there to save him, just as I was there for him in his early years. Thank you all. Oh, man.
Hi, everyone. First, I wanted to give a shout out to Derek and how absolutely dapper he looks. Who knew Viore made suits? And Kelsey, I mean, no words needed. You are a vision. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nikki, and I am fortunate to be one of Kelsey's close friends and bridesmaids. I met Kelsey at my biannual teeth cleaning. While she was elbow deep in my mouth, she made small talk. Well, she was mostly talking, and I was mumbling the occasional, yeah, I'm a flight attendant, as Drew spilled out the corner of my mouth. Epic first impression, if you ask me. After my thorough cleaning, we exchanged goodbyes, and to my surprise, 6 months later, I got Kelsey again. And would you know it, I left that office with the cleanest teeth and a new number in my phone, and the rest is history. We've been on countless walks, bike rides, and workout classes together, most of which Kelsey famously undersold the intensity and length of, so I found myself on the verge of passing out on several occasions. Word to the wise, always ask follow-up questions anytime she says, "It's not that bad." I trust Kelsey with my life, but I will never trust her on her idea of easy ever again. Aside from her overconfidence and my stamina, Kelsey has the innate ability to see the best in not just people, but everything in life. She's the most adventurous person I know, and with a zest for living in the human form of a 5-leaf clover. Good fortune and luck surrounds this girl, and I truly believe it's because she has a heart of gold. Now, if only she was a Purdue fan, then maybe they would finally win and stop breaking Derek's heart every year. That's just one of the many things I find endearing about Derek. Before I actually met him, I knew two things. He was a diehard Purdue fan, and he has a special walk. If you haven't witnessed it, it is truly something to see. He only does it when the mood strikes him, but it's always a hoot. And when he busts it out. Derek is one of those guys who unintentionally draws people in and just lights up a room with his humor and expressions. He shares that same enthusiasm for life that Kelsey does, and being around these two feels like home. Everyone here can attest to how wonderful you both are and just how happy you make each other. I can count on one hand couples that just fit together perfectly, and you two are one of them. So I raise my glass to you both, and may this next chapter be filled with bottomless wine, endless adventures, and the hope that one day Kelsey finds where to take out the trash. Cheers.
I'm Steve Anderson. For those of you that don't know, I met Derek 19 years ago. This summer, working at a summer camp in Maine teaching tennis. But when I met Derek, we didn't say, "Hi, I'm Steve. I'm going to be your best friend. I'm going to convince you to move out to California, start your life here. I'll be speaking at your wedding." No, it started out with a simple hi, and it grew from there. Because when I first knew Derek, I knew Derek as the guy who sat on a styrofoam cooler and broke it, placing beer all over the ground. I knew Derek as the guy who could eat a Denny's Grand Slam breakfast in under 90 seconds. I'm sitting there going, "Are you breathing? Oh my God." But it takes time. And just like when Derek met Kelsey, it wasn't a, "Hi, I'm gonna be your husband. We're gonna have this great life together." It's, "What are you drinking?" And every great relationship and friendship here started that way. And I really hope that tonight another really great friendship and relationship starts, and it starts with a hi. The second thing I wanted to say is that I think about marriage, and I kind of think about, why is this the event that we all get together for? More than any other event, why do we celebrate this more than anything? Indian cultures do 3-day weddings. Jewish people, I would argue it's much bigger than a bar mitzvah. And I'm a Catholic, and this is probably the biggest sacrament that we honor, more than a baptism or a first communion. Why is that? And I started to think, other than the fact that we can drink and spend a ton of money on a venue, why is this? And I keep going back to the fact that this is the time in your life when you go in front of your friends and family and say, "I am going to prioritize you more than me. I am going to put your needs in front of my needs. You are more important than me." And don't get me wrong, at times it sucks. It does. But as a human, it is the most beautiful act that you can do, to put somebody else's life above yours. And that is what you're going to. And Derek, when you talk about your parents, and I never got to meet them, you always speak so glowingly about how they sacrificed for you. They put you ahead of you. Your mother spending all that time and effort doing things for you. Your father, and making sure that you had a good education and paying for your education. They sacrificed for you. They put you ahead of them. And if they were sitting here today, they would be incredibly proud of the fact that you are going in their footsteps and becoming a man and doing exactly what they did. And finally, I wanted to talk to you about, you've had a wonderful life to this point, both of you. You've traveled all over the world. You've had amazing friends and great restaurants and done a lot of great stuff. And you're going to enter a new phase of your life. And this phase is going to have some challenges. You're going to have children, and you're going to have some tough sleepless nights. and you're going to worry about paying the mortgage and deferring vacations, and all of these things are natural in going through this phase. But when you poll people at the end of their life and they say, what were the best years of your life, they repeatedly point to the phase that you were about to enter. And I'll say that to my wife because it is absolutely right. And so with that, we raise a glass to Derek and Kelsey for the best years of their lives. Cheers.